Hey guys, what's up? In this video we'll learn web worker and service worker, and these two are also very famous feature of the JavaScript. Even we already learned so many other features, it's also like DOM manipulation, fetch API, drag drop API, stream, file reader, web component or shadow root, storage API, intersection observer, custom event, or we can say dispatch event. Even we learned the chart.js also, and in this video we will add one more feature is web worker and service worker also. Why we need to use the web worker? Web worker is a feature of web browser that allow to developer to run a script in background thread, and we know that JavaScript is single thread, but we will get one more extra thread as a web worker. There we can run like long running task or some calculation behind the scene. So main thread is responsible for the updating the user interface by offloading the heavy computation or data processing to the web worker. So developer can ensure that the application remain responsive and smooth for the user. And what is the benefit of the web worker? We will get non-blocking executions because we have separate threads, right? We will get parallel processing because we have separate thread and we can perform the concurrently task. Improved user experience. Definitely main thread responsibility to just updating the UI, and user can interact on UI. So UI want to freeze and we can do heavy duty operation also. And another is the worker can help us to organize it better by separating complex logic from the main application code. And similar to the web worker, we have service worker also. The service worker are the special type of the web worker that act as a proxy between a web application and the network. They enable to developer to interact to network request, cache response, and manage offline capability. Service worker are very essential for creating a progressive web app. So progressive web app is, guys, look like a way we have website and that we can convert into as a native app, or you can say mobile app kind of. And that app we can run into offline mode also. Okay, so it will give the user experience as a native app. And what is the benefit of the service worker? Offline support, improved performance by caching the content, background syncs. Service worker can synchronize data in the background, ensuring that application remain up to date. Means if the internet we does not have, that will actually store our data in a background. Once our internet we will get it, it will sync to the online server. Push notification also. Another benefit is push notification. Service worker enable the implementation of push notification, allow developer to engage the user even when the application is not actually open. Okay, so these are the benefit and the functionality of the web worker and service worker. Let's see the demo of the applications. Here I made a very basic application to understand the web worker and service worker. This is the weather forecast dashboard. Here we can enter the city name, and according to city name we will get the temperature of the city. And whatever the temperature data we are getting it, that is coming from the web worker only. And even this application can work in the offline mode also. So let's test it. Suppose here we are entering one city is Delhi. When we search, we got a data. So this data is actually coming web worker. Okay, I'll show the code, then we will understand from where data is coming. Now if I will make this application as an offline mode, so I need to do, I'll go in the network tab. Here in the no throttling, I will make to offline. Once I'll make the offline, you are currently offline and some feature may be limited, but when I refresh my application, still it is working. Right, even actually I can enter the city name, I get the data also. And as I told you, this data is coming from the web worker, not from the live API. But the good part is our application is working in offline mode also. Right, the comparison between the online and offline, we can run this application in one more mode. And here if I go into network and I make it offline, when I refresh it, you can see application is not working because on this server we does not have service worker. Here we have the service worker. If I make to offline, our application is still working. So this is the one of the benefit of the service worker. Another main benefit is the PWA applications, progressive web app applications. Okay, now let's make these applications. In the code editor, I made 5 files. One for JavaScript logic, one for data worker for the web worker, another one is for layout, one for the service worker, and this is style. First we will start with the layout. In the layout we will use the HTML5. For this JavaScript we will add this JavaScript file. For CSS also we'll add this link of the file. Plus guys, here we'll use the Tailwind. Tailwind is also one of the CSS framework, or you can say CSS utility framework. There we don't need to write down any CSS. All the CSS we can get directly through the class name. You guys can go through the Tailwind website. Tailwind is actually in very easy way explaining about the example. So here you can see W25 means the width, 24 rem, height means the particular height, round full means this is the rounded actually we have. Similar to that, we can actually access or search it any classes. Like border width we wanted to see, we can see border 0, border 2, these are the widths we will get it. So these class name we need to use it. Okay, similar to that we can search it. For example, padding, here we have so many padding. X means horizontally left and right, Y means vertically top and bottom actually we have. So similar to these styles we can use it and we can make it our layout also. So we don't need to write down any CSS we can write down still if we have some extra thing. Otherwise everything will get it through the Tailwind only. And it's very easy to use it into React, Angular or any other framework also. To make the layout, actually here I'm adding some few classes of the Tailwind. BG means background, gray means gray, and we have the 100 means so gray 100 is the one of the palettes we have. So we have the gray palette, we have so many number like 100, 200, these are the number. You guys can go there and you can search background color. Here you can see this is slate 500, 600, these are the colors we have. Similarly you will get a lot of other color also. Even we can make and customize our own also. Once we install Tailwind through the npm, we will get a Tailwind config also. There we can configure it also. So in the future we will make a React.js project, there we will use the Tailwind, and there I will tell you how to configure the Tailwind CSS. So our layout is very simple. We need to make one text box with the one button, and below we need to show the temperature information. So to make this one we required one container. So this is our container. In this container we required one heading, and this is our heading guys, and these all are the classes we will get it. Below this one we required one input box also with the button. So this is the input box and this is the button we have. Here I given the ID so that I can access these button and the input box into JavaScript. Below this one we have the weather informations box. Here will show weather informations like temperature, description, humidity and wind speed. Below this one will show the offline message. So if our application will be going offline, so this message will be appearing. So this is the layout guys. So you will get this source code. From there you can take the reference it also. So other than Tailwind I'm writing down few more CSS. These are the very basic CSS like the font style we have, like container maximum width, we have CT input also. So these things we can write down in Tailwind also, or we can mix it our own CSS also. Both the way we can possible. After the layout and CSS we need to work on the JavaScript side. And one more thing guys, this project we will run through the live server npm package. So we will just right click on this one, open in integrated terminal, means we will come into that particular folder. Here we'll write down the live server. So you guys can install live server npm i -g live server. One time you need to install in your system, and after that you can run this command live server. It will automatically find out the index.html in the current folder and host your application on particular localhost 8080 port. So once it's done, you can see we got it over here, and if the 8080 port is busy, then we will get a random port also. So this is our design, but we does not have any functionality. So let's start the functionality of it. So we require to use the service worker. First we will check the service worker into navigator object. In this navigator object we have the one service worker. Here we can see this is service worker. So we need to check this browser is supported or not supported. So to do this one, we can write down in this way also, service worker in navigator. It will return true or false. If it is exists, then we'll get it true, otherwise we'll get a false over here. Okay, spelling is wrong, so we'll make correct, and now we can see we got it also. So guys, in is the operator, we can use it. If in an object, if the properties exist, then we can use in operator also. So we'll use it over here into app.js, and we'll write down if service worker exists into navigator, then on window add event listener, on load of the window we will write down navigator.serviceworker, that is correct, .register, this is also correct, and this is our file name. Okay, and file we have on the root only, so I can write down directly service worker is the file name. Once this file is available, we'll get a registrations, and in the registration we can extract some information also. If we got some exception, we will get service worker registration is false. Service worker we can write down constant. We need to define one of the cache name. So this is the cache name. We can give some name. So right now I'm giving weather forecast version 1. Below this one we need to write down URL to cache. So which resource item we wanted to cache it. So we wanted to cache all these item, means on the root whatever we have, index.html, this is the file, styles, this is the file, app.js, data worker, and Tailwind also. Service worker, this is the file itself, so we are not actually caching it. After this one, self.add event listener of install, what we wanted to do at the time of installation. So we will get an event, and here we will write down wait until cache is open, this file is open, until this file is open. Whatever the cache name is, actually this is the name, so that uniquely identify. And here in the cache we are adding the all the item of it. right? We have similar to this one, we have few more functions. So this is the cache, we are caching it. Another function, we can fetch it also. Fetch means whatever we cached it, that we can fetch it also. So we'll write down event.respond with cache match whatever the requesting we are the particular file that will actually check into this cache. If it will find out that response, it will return it, otherwise we will fetch that particular request. So this is the event of fetch. Similar to that, we have one more event that is called activate. We'll use self.activate. Inside it also we have very standard code. Wait until cache key, one by one key we have. These are the cache names, these name we will get it one by one. Promise all is the one of the promise feature. There we have the number of promises. Cache name means whatever the cache name we have. Map is the array functions. One by one cache we will get it, and we are trying to cache is the delete. If the cache name is actually we change it. So if this cache name we will change, so this actually whatever the previous one we have, so that will be deleted. And guys, once we register the service worker, we can see the service worker in our dev tool. We can go into application, and there we can see our service worker. Here from the network request, we can actually check it also which network request we are coming as a service worker, and we can see this is activate. We can unregister it also. We can push sync, all this operation is also. So here we can little bit troubleshoot it also. Here we can see we have offline mode, update on reload, bypass for network. So this is also we can bypass the network also. We can intercept the network also. Here in the installation at the time, what time it is installed, what time it will end, and this is activated also. So these are the date and time and version is actually we have. So these are the few information about the service worker. So our service worker code is done. After that we will write down the web worker. So in a web worker, similar to the service worker, web worker also we need to register, and to register we will write down web worker equal to new worker. Here we will pass our JavaScript files. Here we will write down data-worker. This is the file name we will write down. In this file we need to write down worker related code, and the code is also very simple. On the self we will write down on message. Here we'll define the functions. In event, here we'll get a data on a event, and from this event data we will processing it. So this data will get, and this data will receive it, and from here math.round we are collecting this data into this variable only. After that, to simulate a process, I'm writing down switch case, and here if the data.description is too lowercase, sunny, cloudy, rainy or windy, one of them we have, then we will show as a data.icon we are showing. So data.temperature, humidity, wind speed, but icon I'm showing this one. Once we done all of these things, we will write down self.post message. So this data we will send it from here. So this data we will receive it into worker. So we'll write down worker. Below this one we will actually fetch all the IDs into JavaScript through the document.getElement by ID. So these are the IDs. ct.input is, this is the ct input. Like similar to that, we will get all the element into JavaScript. Below this one we have one button also. This is the button, search button. On clicking on the search button, we will write down search button, add event listener. This is correct. And here we will write down one functions like fetch weather data, and this function we will define it over here. So in this function, once we click on the button, first we will get the city into city input. So this is the city name, we will get it. Each city name we have, then we will create a mock data. Here we can use the real API also, open API for weather forecast also we can use it. In this mock data, we'll create a mock temperature, humidity and other informations. Once this mock data is ready, then on the worker, we will post the message. So this worker will receive this message over here, and it will process it, and we will get back the one more post message. Here we will write down worker dot on message. There also we wrote down on message. You will see the on message also. So here the worker is actually receiving, here the worker is sending. Here also we need to write down worker dot on message. In this one, same way, on a function we will receive the data, and whatever we wanted to do we can write down. So we write down constant data equal to event.data. From here we'll write down one functions update UI, and there we'll pass all the data. In the update UI functions, we'll write down functions update UI, and here we'll receive the data. Here we'll write down city name first, and temperature, description, humidity all are correct, and we can write down little formatting also. This is correct. After that we need to be show the weather information also, and weather information by default we are hiding through the hidden class. So we need to remove this hidden class, so we'll remove it. Weather informations dot class list dot remove hidden. This is correct, so we'll remove it over here. So this task is done. After that we need to do our online and offline mode also. So this is offline mode, and similar to that we will make the online mode also, right? So this is also correct and this is also correct. So what we are doing it over here, so we don't need to make it use this function, we can make it our own. Update online status, and here also update online status. We will make a comment functions, and the function we will create below functions, and here we'll write down if navigator.online, and we will use this one, and in this way we can define it also, right? And the same function we can call it on the page load also. On the page load we will check this is actually online and offline. On the basis of that we will show and hide this particular div, right? So now our code is almost done. Now let's test it on browser. So we'll go on a browser, we'll refresh this one. We need to rerun it also, so we'll stop it, we'll run it. Live server is running. This is our server URL, and here we'll write down some city name, and we are getting data also. This is correct. And if we will go on a offline mode, yes, message is also coming, and if I refresh it, yes, my application is still working. And if I pass a city name, I am getting the temperature also, right? So now this data we are maintaining through the web worker and service worker. And sorry guys if I made a hurry, because I don't want to make the video lengthy, but you will get a source code. From there you can take a reference, and I hope at least you understand what is a web worker, what is a service worker, and how to use it also. This is very simple and basic example, but we can use this feature into our live project also, right? So similar to this one guys, in the next week also we'll create one JavaScript project, or might be we'll upgrade to JavaScript or TypeScript or React also, and there also we'll learn a new feature of JavaScript or TypeScript. Okay, so till the time you guys can do the practice, and write down the comment also if you like some project and you wanted to make into JavaScript or React, you can mention it, I will make it also. And thanks for watching the video. See you in the next video. Till the time, happy coding.